An object in EverWeb can either be a text box, shape, image, or widget. You create your website's pages by adding these objects to either a fixed width or responsive page layout. A fixed width page layout either uses a centered or left-aligned layout, whilst a responsive page layout is used when you want to design a responsive website. You add objects to your page just by drag and drop, but the way in which objects are handled on the page differs between fixed and responsive page layouts. In this video, we will explain how objects are handled in fixed width page layouts. When you add an object to a page, it is like adding a new layer on top of the existing layers of the page. We can see this effect in the following way. Start by creating a new fixed width blank home page. This page uses a centered page layout and has only one object in it, the EverWeb logo, which we will delete to keep things simple. Now that the page is completely blank, click on the Shapes button in the toolbar and add a rectangle to the page. Click on the Shapes button again and add a triangle. The triangle sits directly on top of the rectangle, but cannot be seen as it is the same color as the rectangle. To change the shape's color, go to the Shape Options tab and change the color fill to green. Now click one more time on the Shapes button and add a circle. The circle sits on top of both the triangle and the rectangle. Again, use color fill and make the color of the circle red. Now try moving the three objects around the page. You will find that you can move the shapes horizontally along the page's x-axis and vertically along the y-axis. The triangle always sits on top of the rectangle and below the circle. The circle sits on top of both the triangle and the rectangle. The rectangle, on the other hand, is always beneath the triangle and the circle. This stacking of objects shows you the depth of each object on the page. This occurs along the z-axis of the page. Most of the time you will not need to worry about this, but there may be times where it does become important. For example, you might want to place two shapes on top of each other to create a play button using a triangle on top of a rectangle. In this case, I have added the triangle to the page first, then the rectangle, so the rectangle is always above the triangle. Fortunately, EverWeb allows you to easily change the stacking order of objects. Select the rectangle, then use the Arrange Send Backwards menu option. If the triangle had been selected, you would have used Arrange Bring Forward instead. You can also access these options by secondary clicking on the selected object, then using the pop-up menu. The Arrange menu also lets you quickly move an object to the top or bottom of the stack using the Arrange, Bring to Front, and Send to Back menu options. As you add more objects to your page, it becomes more complex. As such, you may find that there are times where you want to have one or more objects always positioned at the top of the stack. To do this, use the Always on Top menu option in the Arrange menu, or check the option in the Metrics Inspector. For example, place a star shape on the page, then add a triangle. As you can see, the triangle is above the star. Select the star and check the Always on Top checkbox in the Metrics Inspector. The star now appears above the triangle. Now add a rectangle to the page. You will see that the rectangle sits above the triangle but below the star.